Okay, so what I'd like to do is walk you through three different contexts where you can use ChatGPT or another um, LLM to help you with writing. So let me zoom in a little bit, and we're going to start with emails. Okay, so one thing to remember is you always have to, well, I recommend starting with your original message and giving ChatGPT or the LLM a lot of context or what is the situation. Okay, so here's the situation. My um, my boss wants to have a one-on-one meeting with me, but the issue is concerns the whole department. I'm concerned based on our past experiences that my boss doesn't want an open conversation. I think he wants to keep other people in the dark. How do I politely insist on having a group meeting? Here's what I originally wanted to say. Okay. In response to his email. Thank you for taking the time to meet with me. I appreciate your hearing my input. However, I don't know why we need to meet only one-on-one, because this is about the whole department and many people want to share their ideas. Okay, so let's see what ChatGPT says. So your draft has a respectful tone and clearly communicates your concern, but it can be revised to sound a bit more neutral and professional while still making your point firmly. Here's a polished version that maintains your stance without sounding confrontational. Okay, so thank you for taking and being open to hearing my input. I understand the importance of discussing this issue, but since it affects the whole department, I believe it would be more productive and transparent to include others in the conversation as well. Would it be possible to schedule a group meeting instead so that everyone has a chance to contribute their ideas and concerns? And then here's another suggestion. If you'd like something slightly firmer, so a little bit stronger, but also still professional, not accusatory, you could also add. So I found that discussing department-wide issues one-on-one can lead to misunderstandings or lack of follow-up. A group conversation might help ensure clarity and shared understanding. So, again, the great thing about using these LLMs, ChatGPT, and so on, is that you can ask for multiple versions, for multiple approaches or ways of doing something. I'm going to go with the first one. Okay. Let's go with the first suggestion. Okay. And it's giving me two responses here. Okay. That's fine. I'm not going to read it that carefully. Okay. Now, please explain the changes you made in terms of grammar, structure, tone, and vocabulary. I'm an English learner and want to use this opportunity to improve my writing skills and general English proficiency. Okay. Now here is where we get really interesting, right? Okay, so thank you for taking the time to meet with me. I appreciate your hearing my input. So it gave me the revision here. Thank you for taking the time to meet and for being open to hearing my input. Not a huge change, but still interesting. Okay. Sorry, I just gotta scoot in a little bit. There we go. So you combine two short sentences into one smoother sentence, being open to for a more natural and common expression, and also parallel structure, taking the time to meet, and being open to hearing is a gerund plus infinitive. So that's what we call parallel structure. The structure looks the same. Okay, and then again, I'm going to provide the detailed chat history, so you can just take a look at this one by one, all right, in the document, or you can just pause the video and read this more carefully. But the point is, it's giving me explanations of these changes so that it can help me learn, right? Okay, now here's tone. Okay, so the original tone was polite, but leads slightly toward challenging the idea of a one-on-one meeting. The revised version is assertive but respectful. Okay, so again, slightly more positive or less confrontational, less challenging the authority of the other person, and then some vocabulary suggestions. So these are the suggestions and then why they used it. Okay, and then some general communication tips as well. I don't know why, so that can be a little confrontational. Why, right? So it might be something you don't want to tell your boss or email to your boss. Okay. Using phrases like, I believe it would be more effective too. Okay. Structuring emails so they show appreciation, understanding, and a clear request. Sounds good. So, good structure there. Now, as I always say, you can also use ChatGPT or other LLMs. I don't know about other ones, but you can use ChatGPT in many languages. And so, I know you should try to use English as much as possible when typing and reading, all the information here. But for precision and accuracy, you might want to use your first language as well. So, my second language is Japanese, but I'm going to pretend that it's my first language. Actually, could you please explain everything one more time in Japanese? It's my first language. Not really. Okay, great. So now it's giving it to me in Japanese. Now I don't know if this is 100% natural, but it's usually pretty good. Okay. Looks good. Okay, so it's basically the same information, but now it's giving it to me in my pretend first language. All right. Now, I'm going to include two more situations, okay? So the next one is going to be text messages. So a lot of times when we send text messages, we've got to be careful. Not even in your second language, but also in your first language, right? So again, let's provide the situation first. So the situation will be sending an encouraging message. My friend is having trouble with her life. She has many things going on. I want to encourage her a little bit. Actually, she missed our dinner last night and didn't even let us know. I think she isn't being rude, but she's just so distracted. What can I say? Here's my original message. I know you're having a really hard time. I just want to say it's okay that you missed our dinner. Just keep in touch with us and let us know how you're doing, even if it's not good. We're here to support you no matter what. Okay, that's actually pretty good, but let's see. So here's a revised version. Hey, I know you've got a lot going on right now, and I just wanted to say it's totally okay that you missed dinner. We are not upset. just keep in touch when you can and let us know how you're doing, even if things aren't great. We care about you and we're here for you no matter what. Why these changes? Now, again, we want to know why it's changing, right? I know you're having a really hard time to, I know you've got a lot going on, a little gentler, less heavy, still showing care. It's okay you missed our dinner. It's totally okay that you missed dinner. We're not upset. Okay, so I think that little addition there is pretty good. Um, and then some more natural expression. So again, this is why I think it's really great to use ChatGPT, is that you can ask for more natural expressions as well. I mean, even if your message is pretty good, you might want to just try making it more natural as well. It's softer, more flexible than just keep in touch with us. Okay, and then we can add we care about you. All right, nice and simple, right? Please explain that in Japanese as well. Okay, so now I'm getting it again in my first language, my pretend first language. Okay, good stuff. Looks fine to me. Okay, um, now let's do an essay. Okay. And of course, if somebody sends you an email or sends you a text message, of course, you can always copy that into ChatGPT and then ask for an explanation as well. So it goes both ways, of course. Right now, we're just focusing on writing. But of course, if you get something, a message from somebody else, of course, you can ask ChatGPT to explain that to you. So for the last one, let's do more of a traditional writing assignment and ask for advice, like for an essay. Okay. So I'm writing an essay for homework. The topic is my plan for the summer. Here's my introduction. This summer, I want to do many things and go many places. I want to relax, but also have fun. I want to make many memories by myself and with other people. Okay, that's really bad. It's very generic, but let's see what it says. Okay, your introduction is clear and expresses excitement about summer plans. To make it sound a little more natural and academic, since it's for an essay, here's a polished version. This summer, I have many goals. I want to relax, have fun, and explore new places. I hope to make meaningful memories both on my own and with others. Okay, so now again, it's giving me these changes, which are very important to learn from these suggestions. Okay. Now here's what I like to do. Okay, so again, you can read these in more detail later on the doc, the chat history. So here's what I think we need to do, right? The big thing with ChatGPT and other LLMs is that people who use them often copy and paste without really changing anything. I believe that it's very easy to spot or detect when someone is using ChatGPT, especially when they're an ESL student, because the writing will sound very different from how the student usually talks. But this is not just for ESL students. I think it's for anybody, even native speakers. When their writing and their speaking are so different, that's usually a big red flag that somebody is using ChatGPT, which is not always bad, but it can create some problems. For example, um, I have this experience sometimes where somebody will send me an email and it sounds very much like ChatGPT, like AI, and I kind of feel bad because I'm thinking, well, why didn't you just send me an email in your own words? You know, why are you using ChatGPT to send me an email? I don't like it. It feels like you don't really care about me or you're being lazy or something. So I don't know. Some people don't mind. To me, it feels a little bit weird. I know that might. Yeah, anyway, I don't want to go into too much detail, but it feels kind of impersonal. I think so. But also, if you're sending like maybe a cover letter for your job, or for a job application or other situations, maybe to a client, Um, I think sometimes people can notice that, and ultimately it's up to you. Maybe the other person doesn't care, but I feel that we can still put a personal touch. Okay, so what I highly recommend doing is when ChatGPT gives you something, learn from it, ask for changes or ask for explanations of changes, learn from the structure and grammar and vocabulary and so on. But I want you to try rewriting it as well, writing it in your own words, even if it's 90% similar. I just want you to try it, changing the structure or changing the order, changing some of the words, putting some details in there, which is a big thing I notice with a lot of students is the lack details. And when you lack details in your writing, even if you're not using AI, it to me it sounds very generic, and I don't get a sense of you as an individual. It doesn't stand out. So definitely add details as well. So I'm gonna revise that or rewrite in my own words. So I have many goals this summer. Um, I want to relax, enjoy my time, and also explore new places. In particular, I would like to spend more time um, outside. Okay. Um, at the beach. Okay. Um, I hope to make meaningful memories both on my own and with others, especially my parents who are getting older. Okay. Okay, so again, this is just an example, but you just put these little changes in here, especially my parents who are getting older. So this is a little more personal. This is a little more specific at the beach. I could do a much better job, but I just wanted to give you an example. I did change the order here, the structure here. I have many goals this summer. This summer I have many goals. You don't have to do that, but just as an example. Um, I can even change this one here. How about this? This summer, I have many goals, such as, okay, so let's change that here. Relaxing, enjoying my time, and also exploring new places. Okay, and then I'll just put that in there and see what it says. Okay, and it's giving me another suggestion here. Oh, okay, great. So I changed a little bit, and then it gave me some more suggestions. Nice. Okay, so we'll end it here. But just remember, give ChatGPT or the other LLM, give it the situation, put in your original message, ask for explanations both in English and your first language, grammar, tone, structure, vocabulary, and so on. And then make sure that you change a few things. Don't copy and paste directly. Change a few things, put some personal touches, include some more details or examples, and just and then basically you're just going to keep practicing. You're going to make mistakes. It's going to be difficult sometimes, but I think the more you use it, the more comfortable you'll feel.